Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala Ahl Bayt al-Taybeen at-Tahirin. Not long ago I gave a lecture regarding faith and deeds, and then I followed it up with another lecture just to touch on the point that people unfortunately today like to think that the easy way, the shortcut is always the best way. That we shouldn't put ourselves through extra trouble or pain or learning or whatever. It's better to go the easy way. And I brought a verse from the Bible regarding this, saying that, don't think that the easy way is wide and straight. No, that path always leads to destruction. The narrow path, the difficult path, is the one that leads to life. As in, it leads to your real goal of bettering yourself and perfecting your faith. Now, one day a man dies. It happens every day. One day a man dies and he ends up in like a waiting room before heaven and hell. He gets judged and it's found that he's done too much sin to be accepted into heaven. So God says to the angels of death and so on, torture, take him away. But because he did one good thing, because of that one good thing, I let him choose which torture chamber he's put inside. So he goes away and Satan's little minions, come along showing him different chambers. They say, look, behind door number 1 is this. But if you choose to enter this chamber, you cannot see what's behind 2 and 3. You have to be stuck with the last one, in other words. Now, the man says, okay, so they open door number 1, and he sees a whole load of people stuck there, up to their bellies, in cow manure. And he says, these people must have done something really bad to be stuck there in this stinking condition. I don't want to go in there. He says, let's go to door number 2. They close the door, they go to door number 2. They open it and he sees people, a whole load of people stuck up to their necks in cow manure. He says, what have these people done that they're in such a state that they can't move? They're stuck up to their necks in cow manure. They can smell it. They can almost, if they put their head down, then God knows what. I don't want to be in there. So they go behind door number 3. He opens, Satan's little minion opens the door for door number 3, and he sees people only up to their knees in cow manure. So he says, alright, this is the room for me. He looks around and he sees people drinking tea and having biscuits. And Satan's minion says, are you sure this is the room that you want to go to? I mean, there's 2 and there's 1, you've seen them. And he says, no, this is perfect for me. I mean, look, it's only up to their knees. Where's their belly and where's their neck? This is much easier. Plus the fact that they get tea breaks. Look at them, tea, biscuits. How much better could it get? So Satan's minion says, fine, now that you've chosen, enter. As he's walking to reach his place, one of the guards come and says, okay everyone, tea break over, get back on your heads. As in, this person thought that the people that had it up to their bellies and their necks were in a bad condition. He thought that he could get away with just having it up to his knees, when actually he realised that these people are the ones that have to stand on their heads in it. So never take the shortcut. Never think of trying to dodge the difficult way. Always think that this difficulty has a good thing behind it. And that shortcut, that easy route, has got something difficult hidden. Always read the small print. Maybe you should have read the small print there. Anyway, I want to discuss faith and what true faith really is. Now, I've given a lecture about this before, and I've discussed a story about one of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam's true friends, Harun, who sat in the oven, and you can find this lecture on the internet. Today I want to look at it from a Christianity point of view, where I will quote two very short stories that show the beauty of these people's faith in Prophet Jesus, Prophet Isa ala nabina wa alihi wa alayhi salam, peace be upon him. Now the first one comes under the heading, the faith of the centurion. Now, when Jesus had entered Capernaum, a centurion, a very high position in the army, in the ranks of the army, he comes to Jesus and he asks for help. He says, "Lord, my servant lies at home paralyzed and in a terrible suffering." Jesus says to him, "I will go and heal him now." The centurion replies, "Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I tell this one, go, and he goes, and to that one, come, and he comes. I say to my servant, do this, and he does it." When Jesus heard this, he was astonished and said to those following him, "I tell you the truth, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith." Jesus said to the centurion, "Go, it will be done just as you believed it would be." And his servant was healed at that very hour. Now, this shows the beauty of the faith of the centurion. He was a man in such a position that he would take orders from whoever was above him. Now, whether a general is higher than that or not, I don't know the ranks, but for the rank above him, he would take an order and then tell that order to his soldiers. Now, he understood and knew that when he gets an order, he has to follow it. And when he gives an order, it has to be followed. He had first-hand witness of that, first-hand experience. The same way, he then trusted that, look, if I'm in a position, I'm no one, I'm just a man, I'm just a centurion. If I can follow orders, and I can give orders and people can follow me, then why can't Jesus? Why can't a prophet of Allah do such a thing? Due to his faith, he made it easier for himself. He said to Jesus, "Look, Jesus, I'm a man in a position of power. I know how, the hierarchy works. I don't believe that you have to come over there and do everything yourself. I believe that if you were just to say something, it would happen." And due to his faith, he got his wish. And Jesus praises him. He says, "I have not yet seen such faith in all of Israel." This is true faith, to believe that the prophets, the imams, have such power, such total control, that they just have to say something and it happens. With the will of Allah, obviously. The second story is under the heading, a dead girl and a sick woman. It says that Jesus was on his way to a ruler's house to bring his daughter back to life. Just then a woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years came behind Jesus and touched the edge of his cloak. Just touched the edge of his cloak. She said to herself, "If only I touch this cloak, I will be healed." Jesus turned and he saw her and he said, "Take heart, daughter, your faith has healed you." And the woman was healed from that moment on. Over here again, it shows that down to her faith, she was healed. She got her answer because of her faith. She didn't think that, now I have to go to Jesus and he has to prescribe me such and such medicine and then this and that and the other, and then he has to lie me down on a table and cut me open and swap my heart with my lungs and God knows what for me to become better. She didn't think this. And for that reason, because of her faith in Allah and her faith in Jesus, she was healed in a very easy way. All she said to herself, she didn't even have to announce anything. She just said to herself, "Look, all I have to do is touch his cloak. If he's a prophet, a holy man that people say he is, and I believe him to be, I believe him to be the prophet of Allah, then just touching his clothes, his cloak, would be enough to heal me. And that's exactly how she was answered. You see, a lot of the time, because of our weak faith, we fall into difficulty. Because of our weak faith, we end up having to take the difficult route and make things harder for ourselves. A true Muslim, a true Christian, a true Jew will believe totally 100% in their prophets and their imams. They will believe that if they only ask for such a thing, that it will be granted to them. This is having true faith. This is believing 100% in that which has been revealed by Allah the Almighty, in His messengers, in the Imams. I pray that Allah gives us the tawfiq to be able to have such faith as the centurion, as the lady, as such people like Harun, Salman al-Farsi, to believe 100% that what we're being told is the correct thing to do, and not to question it, not to think that there is a more difficult way around. To believe that if God wills, it will be done. That's it. And believe me, if we do sincerely, from the bottom of our heart, believe that everything is in God's hands, and whatever, however difficult our problem is, that God is surely stronger and above that power, above that problem. He has the power to solve it. Then believe you me that we would not have to live in such difficult lives. That Allah will solve it within a split second, down to our faith. Inshallah, may we encourage one another, people of all faiths, to continue in their progression, in their building of themselves, and in strengthening their faith. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد